Hello, gamers. Yeah, no, that's not me. But this is for you, PewDiePie, and I'm going to give you a little tutorial on how to use redstone and kind of explain some of the blocks, like the comparator, probably one of the most useful blocks, but least understood. And just a simple look on redstone, ways to make it more compact, and little things so you can learn. Okay, so now I've got some redstone blocks in my inventory and some other stuff. So this is obviously redstone dust. You already know this simple stuff where you can just simply power it up to a certain blocks, and according to what block it does, whatever block it is, it does certain things. Like, for example, a sticky piston, it pushes back and forth. Now, what these things do, redstone repeaters, is if you've realized that redstone only goes 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 blocks. Anything farther than that, so if I do 15 blocks, the signal will not reach. So if I were to put a piston, simple piston right there, and took a screenshot accidentally. Do that. Oh my gosh. I have a weird glitch where that keeps on happening in my Pocket Edition. Don't ask. I have been playing Minecraft for 9.5 years, so this is how I know this. But 15 blocks away. Oh, it does work. What? 1, 2, 3, 4. I must have miscounted. I swear I must have miscounted. Yeah, I miscounted by 1. So this is actually 14 blocks. And anything over 14 blocks of redstone, it just doesn't work. But if I add a repeater, so the way time is measured in this game are ticks. One thing just like this equals 1 tick. As you might have realized, the input comes in, waits like it's a fourth of a second actually, and then it comes out. Now you can adjust these so this is now 2 ticks, 3 ticks, and 4 ticks. And you can also put them in order. Now what you haven't realized is probably that these things also renew the thing. So now it can go much farther in the power, not only this, but this too. So basically from here on, can go another 14 redstone blocks. So, here's where some of the complicated stuff comes in. The redstone torch. Have you ever needed a block that, switches the signal? For example, let's just say you have a torch. So, for example, when you were making the little thing for Jorgen, you needed it to stay powered for it to work, right? So, if I were to just lead this up to a piston, see, that works, right? Because this redstone torch powers the redstone to the piston. But if you put the redstone torch attached to a block that's powered by some sort of redstone or repeater, it turns off the torch and this thing fails. So, for example, when you were doing your thing, what I recommend you do is you put a button and put this little contraption. So this is like its closed state, and then when you want to get out with Jorgen, you click the button, it stays down for a few seconds, then it goes back up. Now, some different types of buttons do, that makes it stay down for a longer time or shorter time. I recommend like an iron button or something. I know you don't have much of that, but that's probably, a stone one. Stone would be the best choice there, because those are pretty long. Or is it the other way around? See, I can't even remember some of this stuff. Okay, so yeah, I just looked it up, and actually it's the stone ones are shorter, the wooden ones are longer. So what I recommend actually you doing is you just put a repeater in the way if you need to make it longer, and then just add that, put 4 ticks. So then look, it stays powered on for 4 ticks, and it stays powered off for 4 ticks. So it does take a little longer now, but it works. Now, for another thing that repeaters can do. So repeaters can do things like if you had a block, for example, let me get just a random dirt block because we don't need that yet. We're going to put the dirt block there, and then, so what repeaters allow you to do is they allow you to put power through blocks, if you know what I mean. Like, see how I lit the repeater and there's no redstone in the middle, but it still goes through. So these repeaters do allow you to like push energy through blocks, and this works on the side too, right there, or on this side. It works on anywhere. It works the same way as if there was just a redstone block right there. Except, the one thing that I do have to say is, if you do put a block here, it doesn't count as you placing a redstone block, so you can still go another 14 blocks off of this. And that would work still. Now, another thing repeater can do, and this is like a bit more complicated, is you can lock them. So let's just say you wanted the thing to change from 5 ticks to 1 tick. So we can lock it, so we can put it at 1 tick, okay, and power it from the side. So like if we were to run something like this, or is it the other way that I have to do it? I know there is a way to lock it, but I just can't seem to remember. Oh yeah, that's what it was. So what you need to do is get a another repeater, and then that's what you can use to lock it. So now it's at 1 tick. But okay, what I can do now is now that it's set at 1 tick, okay, I can undo this, move it to like 5 ticks, and once I wait a second. Oh, I know now. So while it's powered, it'll stay at 1 tick, but when you undo it, what was that? I completely forget how it works now. I actually forget. Either that or it's just glitching, but normally there's a way for you to make it. So I don't remember. Maybe you have to then put another one to the other side, and it should work. And then, so if I do that, that should, I don't even know. Yeah, I forget. I just ignore this whole thing. I might even just cut it out. But, basically, what was meant to happen is while it's powered, it goes to 1, and while it's not powered, it goes to another tick speed, depending on what you set it to, except I completely forget how that works. So now let's move on to the next one that looks kind of similar. It's called the comparator or compactor, or however you'd like to pronounce it. I'm still kind of wondering on everything you can do with this block, because at times it's glitchy and buggy, but like most of the time it's completely accurate. Basically what this does is it can sense things. So if I were to put a lever right here connected to this block, I think this can only, no, it doesn't. Let me give you a better example. If you were to put a chest down, right, just a regular chest, let's just put one right here. So right now it doesn't have an item on it, so this thing doesn't sense anything. But once you put an item in it, now look, it has a redstone power. Now since there's only a few items in there, it doesn't give as much as a power. Let's just say the item fills up every space in the chest. So we'll just move this around and try to spread it out, but it's really hard to do on mobile. Come on. Something like that. There we go. Now it can... Okay, I'm seriously messing up right now. I don't know why. I just can't remember all the redstone things. But basically, every time there's an item in, it powers it. And then you can... My recommendation is you just mainly do things like this if you're going to do that. Where, like, you put the redstone repeater there and the compactor. So every time it's sent, it puts out a good, strong signal. That's my recommendation. I'm really sorry I'm messing up here, but it does work. I swear. So, then, another thing that the comparator thing you can do is, if you realized it, you can toggle it. You'd ask, what does this do? So, comparators can be attached by redstone on the side. For example, if I were to do something like this, should cause a redstone loop. So what's happening, okay, is this thing is powering this, right? This comparator is being powered by this thing that's going into the side of the... No, well, the comparator is it's being powered by the lever the first time. Then it goes around, and it comes to the side. And the amount of energy that comes in through this side, through the side of the comparator, is the amount, it's like... So, let me give you an example. If I were to put in... See how there's a... Like, depending on how strong the signal is how it works. Let me give you this example, if I just destroy this. So see how this is only 1, 2, 3, we're going to make it 4, 5, 6, 7 blocks away. So while it's normally powered and this thing isn't like receiving a low energy pulse, it can go as far as, 14 blocks is. But if we add power to this thing, so depending on how far away it is, if we add 7 power to this, the thing doesn't become as powerful. It only goes up to 7 blocks now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is messy, I know. So 7. Now, I think I might have miscounted that again. Wow, I'm stupid. But yeah, you realize it can power over here, but not here. And this still isn't 14 blocks. But if I undo this, I can power both blocks because all the power is restored. Yeah, I know it's really confusing, and I hope you get this mini tutorial thing. But it's confusing. I understand it's confusing. So another thing you can do, though, okay, is there's these things called observers. What they do, okay, is every time they see something changing, they will output whatever they need to output. For example, what if we were to put a piston right there, and every time that piston is activated, the observer will sense it and put out a redstone signal to turn back on the thing, the piston. Now, I don't think that worked, and I'm not sure why. Maybe I have to... Oh, I did it backwards, that's why. So, what's actually supposed to happen is you're supposed to put the face facing towards... The face is basically, it's kind of like as if it was watching the block. So the face on the observer shows you which way it's watching the block. So what happens is every time it sees the block moves, it puts out a redstone signal, which powers it back, and then senses it, and makes another loop, like I was saying earlier. So that's that. There is many other ways of using this, like, for example, if you had a door, or if somebody opened a chest. Pretty sure that works with chests. I don't even know anymore. This is so... It's a lot to cover, I know. But trust me, once you get the hang of redstone, you'll get it. I'm basically only giving you an overview of most of these blocks. There are still a few that you may not know, like the hopper, the block of redstone. No, I can still cover these, I bet. And then there's like droppers and dispensers, and I don't think there's much more than that. But basically, all these do is the dropper. If you put something inside, as you can already guess, it spits it out. I think you already figured that one out. So if I just put something inside, it just spits it out. See? And the dispenser does the same thing, except it shoots it out farther, and if there's like an arrow or a snowball or something, it actually like shoots it out. It just drop the item. Then there's the hopper, which I honestly like to use a lot. Like, I have a good example, but like, it's a big world. Trust me, it's not worth it. But basically, what we can do is we can go back to our other chests over here, and we can like wire up a hopper to it. So now, if we were to put something into this hopper, for example, these observers, what happens is since the observer is attached onto this, not the hopper is attached onto this hopper, it moves from this hopper to this hopper, and this hopper right here is attached to this hopper. So basically, it just moves like this, and you can tell how they're attached by looking at the bottom, kind of connected to each other. And basically, that one's connected to the chest, which it should be filling up the chest with stuff, but the reason it's not is because we got all these chests inside the chests. Basically, that's how that works. And then, yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, and the redstone block, I almost forgot. It's basically the same thing as the torch, except you can't really turn it off in any way possible. It just lets out a signal, and there's no way to change it unless you were to like move it out of the way with a piston or something. But yeah, as I was saying, that's pretty much it. Hope you actually understand this and enjoy this tutorial. And if you can, please shout me out. Bye.